going Dawn of the Future here. When I filmed the podcast today, it was very much spur of the moment, and I do write notes for the podcast, and I'd started writing notes in one book, and then because it was rushed, I randomly picked up another notebook that I don't normally keep. Well, it's like coffee stains. I don't normally make podcast notes in this book, and it afterwards it occurred to me there was something really important I wanted to share with you, and it relates to one of our lovely viewers, and also one of our lovely fellow podcasters here on YouTube. And what I wanted to share with you is one of our friends, Chris, who on YouTube here, she's Loopy Loop UK. I'll put a link to Chris's channel below. Chris has been quite poorly for a while, so she's also not been commenting on videos, and but I do actually I know Chris's channel. I'll let her explain it to you. But she had what would you call it? A dream to make to reach 1,000 subscribers on her channel, and as I'm filming this, she's blown that out of the park. All our friends and community have rallied around and, you know, gone over to Chris's channel to meet her. So even though she's achieved her goal, let's keep it going. She needs some friends right now, and we all know with the crafter community, we take good care of each other. So please head on over to Loopy Loop UK. Say hello, let Chris know you come over from Dawn's Days if you're not already a follower of Chris's, so she knows that we're spreading the love. And yeah, let's hold her in our thoughts and prayers. So link below, and let's start the video podcast. Thanks, see you. Hello, welcome back, or to, if it's the first time, the Woven Almanac channel. My name is Dawn. I'm a British expat from Manchester, and for over 20 years I've been living here in the Netherlands, in a place called Aalsmeer, which is on the border of Amsterdam. It's kind of in between Schiphol Airport and Amsterdam. So I live here with my partner Lawrence, who's from South Africa, and my two sons Joshua and William, and our little furry doggy Jack. Jack is currently his ears pricked up. Jack is behind you on the sofa and he snores. Little disclaimer. And my eldest son Josh is getting ready to go to college, so you might hear him milling around. Kind of explains why I'm sat in a different location today for filming, just so I'm not in his way, so we can move about freely in the kitchen. Currently on my lunch break, and I thought, let me just film a podcast, even though it's only been 2 weeks since I filmed the last one, which is, I know it's a record for me, but there is a reason why. But before we get into that, I'll carry on with a little intro. So the format of my podcast is usually I give you a little bit of an update of what I've been up to since I last filmed, and then I do the different crafts I've been working on by section. So in today's podcast, we've got crochet, knitting and sewing, and then I'll wrap up with anything incoming or plans. So that's the format. Where possible, I in the description box below, I add links, and if I don't have a link, I'll just put a piece of text so you can Google it yourself. And there's also timestamps. So if you're not interested in the intro, you just want to know what I've been up to since the last podcast, then there'll be a timestamp for life update, and then a timestamp for each of the topics. So that's pretty much the format. So I know some crafty podcasts, they do like a section like what works in progress or finished objects like whips and FOs, but I tend to just stick to the particular craft because I'm a bit of a craftaholic. So that's about the podcast and me. And if you want to find me on other social media channels, I'm also here on YouTube with a vlog channel, Dawn's Days. Again, links below to that. And I film pretty much daily what I get up to in the week, and then on Sunday morning 6 o'clock Central European time, I upload what I call the weekly vlog. So if you want to get to know me a bit better, there's often a little bit of crafty chatter in it, but it's mainly about, you know, sometimes we'll go out. So if you want to have a little bit of a look at what life is like in the Netherlands, and we go to everywhere but Amsterdam. I should go to Amsterdam and film because it's not that far from me, but I think because it's sort of like close, we don't bother. But maybe when it gets a bit warmer, we'll do that. So anyway, if you want to head on over and have a weekly vlog with me, a chit chat, going over to Dawn's Days, and then also on Instagram, I have the handle at Dawn's Days, which is actually my Instagram is like 95% crafting. So if you really want to see what I'm up to in between podcasts, you're best to go on Instagram and follow me. And then I never mentioned this, but I am on TikTok, but it's a bit of a mashup of crafting and Dutch life. Recently, we had the whole TikTok refugee thing that they were shutting it down in the US and they opened it again. So I joined the masses and opened a channel on Rednote, which is another Chinese streaming service. And it's just a duplication, really. If I post it on TikTok and Instagram stories, I'll push it through to Rednote. So again, these, I don't put a lot of work into them, but if I've already got the content, I'll upload it. So yeah, links below. I also host a Crafty World 1. It's a crafting group on Facebook. It's a bit dead at the moment. When I feel a bit more, you know, I've got some sort of creative energy to put into it, I'll revive it. But maybe there's stuff in there, project inspiration, you know, have a look. There's photos and stuff. Right. So I haven't got a drink with me. I'm still getting over this flu thing that I had at Christmas. So I hope I don't have a massive coughing fit. But that's the beauty of editing. So let's get stuck in. Life updates. Well, not a lot to tell you about really, because it's only been 2 weeks. And if you watch the vlog, you'll know what I've been up to. But we've had a real cold spell here in the Netherlands. Happy to say, not so much, you know, not so rainy. We've had a few rainy days, but it's been cold and dry. Happy. That's perfect winter weather for me. Not had snow. I think last the last podcast we'd had like a sprinkle of snow, which didn't even last a day. Not had any of that since. Not so much ice. I'm looking out of the lounge window here. Incidentally, I have like an open fire, even though there's stuff behind it. That's a little handmade dresser. I didn't make it. I bought it. It's secondhand, vintage, I would say. And we have like this plinth. And if you watched Vlogmas or my vlogs, you'll know that I always change up the fireside for the season we're in. I've Christmased the house. So we're just stuck with the regular kind of ornaments. I've not even got, this is a wreath hanger. You can suspend a wreath around it. Yeah, here. I've not even bothered with the wreath. I've got a summer wreath. I'll get all that down in a few weeks, but I'm feeling a bit... Okay, see you. Have a good day. Bye. Josh, we're going to college. It's deceptively cold. It looks nice out, but it's a bit chilly, so it's all bundled up. Anyway, that's where I'm sitting in front of my fire. The fire is a log, a wood fire. It's not one of those like pellets or a fake one. We put real logs in there, though we haven't used it yet this winter. Anyway, I'm waffling. So life updates. Yeah, it's the weather. You know, I'm British. We always talk about the weather. I've had a couple of days out, which I've filmed a little bit. Lawrence and I went to Utrecht a few weekends ago. We needed to do a bit of shopping. So I did a bit of shopping, walk around. I filmed a bit of that. We went to our friend's store, the Lekker store, South African shop. We had some South African food, boerewors roll, which is a farmer sausage in a bread roll. Not a roll, but a bread bun, and milk tart, which is basically, it's a little bit like the English custard cakes. So that's what we had. And then we also had a little day out to a place called Wassenaar, which is quite close to the North Sea coast. and we went to a British expat supermarket, bought a few goodies, so I filmed that if you're interested in things I miss from home. We had a nice lunch and a walk around. I did buy something whilst I was there, so that's on the incoming. And I think that's pretty much what we've been up to. I've worked from home this week because of the after effects of this, respiratory virus thing I've had. I'm prone to just randomly start coughing. And then everybody's like looking at me in horror. So I decided to just stay at home, and going in and out of cold weather, central heating, air conditioning. It was also triggering all my airways. So it's been a pretty bit of a quiet week. Anyway, I think that's the only life update you need. If you want to know more, head on over to Dawn's Days, where you're in for at least an hour's waffle every time on that channel. I need to get better at that. Anyway, let's jump in with, I've only got one thing to share with you. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the last podcast. It's the Crochet Along by the lovely Lucy from Attic 24, the Canal Boat Blanket. I think I did mention it. It was touch and go. I ordered my yarn, and then the order didn't come, and then I realised it wouldn't come till February because it was some out of stock, so I had to... Anyway, I ended up buying my yarn from 2 different places in the Netherlands. Once I'd sorted the confusion out, it came through very quickly, although I was like a week behind. So as I'm filming this today, tomorrow is part 3. Every Friday a new piece of the pattern comes out. It's free. It's stunning. So I'll show you. Sorry, I'm bending down. This is part 2, and I like to print mine off because now, unless the pattern changes, I've memorized it. So I just need to know right side, wrong side, what the stitch is and the colour. So Lucy, for this crochet along, she's giving you 2 different suggestions of colourways. This is with Yarn Smiths, and I'm actually doing mine in the Stylecraft Special DK. So she tells you, and I've actually written what row it is on here, and she tells you if you should be on the wrong side, the right side, what the stitch is for that row, and then what colour you're working with. So that's why I print it off, because I tick it off. So this is part 2. I'm all the way up to row 48. So I've got that, and where am I up to? Oh, sorry. Why have I just done that? That's weird. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 more rows. I've got 18 more rows to do. They work up quite quickly. So that's where I'm up to. And then I've got all this to go. I am absolutely loving this crochet along. I'm loving that it's a striped blanket. See, it's like instant gratification. It's behind you on the sofa. I did the Yuletide blanket. Shall I get it? Hold on a sec, I'll show you in case you don't know what it is. Back. Here is let me find the centre, the Yuletide blanket that I made. This was a crochet along from 2 Christmases ago from Lucy Attic 24. It's a biggie. Like, that's one side, the middle. It's huge. This is all from Stylecraft Special DK. I love it. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked the camera. I still haven't got round to tying or snipping ends off. I just lost the will to live. Even though I love this blanket. Actually, it could have been from Christmas 2022, thinking about it, because I know I didn't finish mine. I'm not a fond crocheter of knitting in the round, because when it got so big, just one row would take an hour, and I just got sick of it. Even though I'm thrilled with the blanket. Everybody who sees it, I'll just throw that there. When they come to my house, I always admire it. But anyway, I've decided striped granny blankets, they're the way forward. So, what is this big bag? Oh my gosh, I've just dropped. Sorry, just dropped everything. I need my notes because I forget everything at the moment. Yes, so here is, I've got my bag of Stylecraft Special DK, and then just, actually you don't have to be as careful with crochet, with unravelling as you do with knitting, because It's really, if you didn't know that about crochet, it's really easy to frog and redo. I've got dog hairs on me from that blanket. So I'm just going to pull up a loop so it makes it a bit easier. And then at first I was like, well, I don't need to know. I don't need to mark the right and wrong side. You do. If you're going to do this, you definitely need. So this is the right side. I've just got a stitch marker. And what I was very good at the end of part 1, I weaved in all my ends. So all these ends here are just from part 2. So, whoops, I'm all tangled up. Just bear with me. I've got the crochet hook. This is a Knit Pro 4mm. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to sort of get it all in shot. Or maybe I should do this. Maybe that would be easier if I fold it so you don't see the ends. So this is part 1 from here, and then I forget where part 2 began. I could tell you, but it's under all stuff now. But I'm really enjoying it, and it's literally, once you get past the beginning, the cast on the first row, then all this is just a 4-stitch repeat. And what was different for me is, normally when you crochet, you get to the end and then you turn your work. And with this, some of the rows, you don't turn your work. You don't fasten off. You go back to the beginning of the row on the same side and pick up another colour. So I'm loving the effect. And her colour combinations are just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So I haven't really got any plans tomorrow, so I might have a quiet morning tomorrow evening. I'll do a little bit this tomorrow morning, and I might do a little bit this evening, just to try and almost be ready for part 3. But once I start with it, I can't put it down. I really enjoy it. So I've kind of almost monogamously been crocheting, or actually crafting on that, because it's so addictive. You can tell I'm a fan. But I have done a few other things. I'm trying to sort of, I'm not going to show you, it's in the corner there. I did do a little bit more in the Call the Midwife blanket, just to sort of, carry on with it. But I think that's everything on the crochet. Yeah, so I was really good. I did do a few knitting things. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned the Year of Dishcloth by Garlane, who's the kitchen sink shop. Yeah. Every year she does a Year of Dishcloth. You sign up to a newsletter, and then every month you get a new pattern for the month, and she always does something extra with it. I'm such a huge fan. I think a few of you from the last podcast signed up for it, so I hope you've been joining in. I was really excited. I haven't got a picture with me of what the dishcloth should look like. So with the magic of technology, I'm going to put a picture here of what it should look like. The patterns usually are worsted weight or DK cotton. I always knit mine in I don't know what count it would be. What count would be a Scapier's Katona? Is that like a fingering weight? I don't know. But anyway, did I mention this? This is what I'm knitting mine in. Let me put my glasses on. Or I should say knitted it. This is, I think I might have mentioned this in incoming that I'd bought some cotton, and I don't think I've shown it. This is a Grundl cotton quick print. And this colour is number 235. And it tells you it's suitable for crochet hook 3 to 4 or knitting 3 to 4. I think Lucy's is the lace is a little bit tighter because she's clearly done it. Not Lucy, Garlane. Sorry, Garlane's is a bit tighter because she's obviously knitted it in the worsted weight. I use the recommended needle sizes, so I knitted mine in 3.25, and then I've used, this is what I used, this Grundl quick print. Absolutely loved it. This was so nice to knit with, and the colours, Garlane, the January one, I forget, I've even not written the name of what it is. Wow, stupid of me. I'll put it on the screen. Garlane also knitted hers in pink. I think this year's theme is, I think it's musicals, and I think the January one was Sound of Music, but I don't know if it was called The Sound of Music or The Hills Are Alive or something, but it was definitely Sound of Music. She knitted hers in like a big bright fuchsia pink, so I've used the pattern one. Now, as I said, or which way round does it go? I think that's the bottom. As I said, the lace work on mine is I've not blocked it, I'm sorry, it's very open, but I actually really like it, and I love the pattern. It's got these little splashes of colour, so you can see you actually start bottom down. That's how you start. So this was the first row, so you can see, I think it'll block out. I don't think it will be this scallop. I think it'll block out to this. I mean, do you block out a dishcloth? I don't know. But don't be thinking that the pattern has got this wave at the bottom, because it hasn't. It does block out to a square. And then you finish at the top row. So this is what it looks like. Lovely, really nice pattern. Loved it. It's like this fan shape. Looks like a tree or a branch. Loved it. So, yes, I did the dishcloth. Whipped this up in one night because I loved the pattern so much. So we're off to a great start with the year of dishcloth. I can't wait for February. I'm feeling, you know what it is? I'm feeling this canal boat blanket, because I'm really enjoying it, has just got me feeling creative again. I'm fired up to make things. I'm excited about, my creativity. So that's one knitting thing. It's a small thing, but nevertheless, it was enjoyable for me. And then the other thing, I think I did show you this in the last podcast, the Floriculture Cowl, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Carly Page. Now, I said that I was going to knit mine in undyed yarn, because I've not done it for a long time, but I was a yarn dyer. So I do, in my stash, I have undyed yarn. I have DK, I have fingering, 4-ply, whatever, at my studio, my workshop, which is in my local art centre. I don't do dyeing at home because it's just too messy. But anyway, so I had said that the white here would be undyed yarn, and then the colour, the contrast colour, I was going to use the West Yorkshire spinner. I forget the name of it, haven't got it in front of me. So I did a few rounds of the pattern, and indeed I did say on the podcast that I thought the white fleck that was in the WYS yarn would get lost in it, and it did. I just didn't like it. And I also, that was thinking about it, when I went to Utrecht, I bought new needles. I actually went to Sticks and Cup, is it, or Cups and Sticks? I can't remember which way around her yarn shop is. I ended up going there and buying some Chigu and Knit Pro needles, and I tried them both. I cast on with the Chigu, and it was the red lace, interchangeable, and I'm knitting mine on I can tell you, I think on a 3mm. The 55cm cable to knit in the round was way too long, so I ended up transferring everything onto the Knit Pro 50cm cable, and that's just right. Sorry, it's in a tangle. And then, because I frogged it all, changed the needles, changed the yarn, so I'm still doing in this hand-dyed yarn. But who remembers Vlogmas 2 years ago? I had a yarn advent. I can't remember who it was from now. It was a lady in Germany, a hand dyer. And I've still got all these 10-gram minis, I think. And 2 of them are kind of like the colour, similar colours that were in the West Yorkshire spinner yarn, but no white. So I've only done a few. I think I've done, it's a 15-row repeat per, I don't even know what that would be, flower. So I've only done Is it on here? Have I made a note? Yeah, I've only done 5 rows of the flower repeat, and just to see if I like it. I'm glad I frogged it. So this is what it's looking like, and as you can see, I've balled it. It's very similar with like these browns, greens, rusty reds to the West Yorkshire spinner, but no white. So I think it's going to be really nice. You can see that's how it's knitting up at the beginning, and then this is how the variegation in the pattern's looking. So it took me a while to get, the needle right, the cable right, the yarn right, but I'm glad. I'm really enjoying it. It's a very, very easy pattern, and I think once it's done and blocked, it will look lovely. So I said I'm knitting mine on a 3mm, and they're not this Knit Pro Zing. I don't know if they're like bamboo or wood or something. So they're not the they're a little bit shorter than the Zings, I think. I haven't got the package anymore. How silly of me. And a 50cm cable. And I think you could actually do it with the Zing, because I've got a bit of gather, but definitely not a 55cm cable. Oh my gosh, it was just 2. So yeah, that's my undyed yarn, and that's how far. So I've been trying to have a little rest from the crochet blanket, and by just changing up my crafts, but that's all I've been doing with knitting. Okay, sewing. I've got something exciting to show you. I have definitely spoke about this pattern on the podcast before, and I cut the pattern pieces out, I hand stitched it, and then I just left it. And I was watching my lovely friend Jeanette, who's Crafty Creations here on YouTube. I was watching one of Jeanette's videos, and she got me all fired up. It will all make sense in a minute, especially if you watch Jeanette. And I thought, Dawn, what are you doing? So I finished my mouse. Meet Daffodil. This is the 6-inch mouse pattern I bought from Etsy from Jane Magic Craft. She hasn't got whiskers. Will she have whiskers? I don't know. So I hand stitched her face, so she's got a tiny little smile. This is the dress. I did use the pattern loosely. I've made a few mods, and I've added this ribbon. I think the pattern on her Instagram, was it? It's a little bit more, I don't know, was she using like a net or something? I can't remember. The only thing is, I can't find my teeny weeny buttons anywhere, and I can't find my press studs. So her back is, we have to watch Daffodil's Modesty. And it's not like a great fit, but you know what? I'm going to overlap her, and then she's fine. I forgot Daffodil's tail, but Daffodil says she's fine with it. It's actually, her skirt sits better without one. So yes, that's Daffodil. My Daffodil, one of the other mods was I made, I stitched her arms through instead of sewing them straight to the body, because I wanted her a little bit, that she was a bit more jointed, but her legs are attached. So yes, thrilled to bits with her. Absolutely love her. I posted her on my Instagram, and loads of people said, oh, she's so cute. I love her little dress. All from scraps. Even the ribbon, something I bought, I don't know, a year or 2 ago from Schuster and Grenner. Didn't know what to do with it. And I thought, you know what? You can never have too many patterns. Who doesn't love a bit of gingham, a bit of strawberry, and some vintage flowers? It's a clash. But anyway, I think it was on my Instagram, somebody said about making clothes for her, and I thought, you know what? For the season. And I thought, what a great idea. So I watched a YouTube video how to make capes for cloaks for toys. I haven't got a pattern. I drew this myself with paper. I made a prototype with felt, just a cheap felt I had. I didn't stitch it together. I just used magic clips and decided, yes, I think it would fit okay. So I cut all the pieces out. Oh my gosh. And this is inside out. So this will be Daffodil's cloak. I'm going to machine stitch, which is red velvet. Can you guess what season it's for? The lining of Daffodil's cloak is, this is a quilting fabric. I don't know where it's from. This is going to be her lining. Isn't it lovely? And the same for, she's going to have a hood. So that's her hood, which looks massive, but it does fit her. So I figured out how to stitch her. Oh, I'm missing part of the hood. I must have left it in my craft room. And if it fits nicely, I mean, again, this is all stuff I had lying around for years. If it all fits nicely, you know, I've got the prototype then. Yeah, I don't know where the hood, the lining of the hood is. I did think about putting some like white trim fur around. I haven't got any. I don't really want to buy any. I've got some like fluffy, like like off-white, creamy teddy bear wool. I could actually crochet around the edge, I might do, or could actually hand stitch some like gold piping, or I don't know. At the moment, I'm just having fun with her. So yeah, hopefully I'll get her finished over the weekend, stitched, and we can see next time. I'm not sort of promising anything. I mustn't lose my crochet hook. So yeah, that's all the sewing I've done. I finished Daffodil's face. I made her dress, and now I'm making a little cloak for her. Oh, I love her so much. I think she's so cute. So what prompted me to finish that? Actually, before we get into that, the dishcloth. I think I've shown this on one of the vlogs. These are the other Grundl cottons that I bought specially for doing the dishcloths. I've got the Katona, but I just like this patterned cotton. So it's the same cotton quick print. I love this. It's beautiful. It's like pastels, pinks, greys, greens, creams. This one, I'll tell you the colour if you want to have a look. It's colour 233. And then this one, it's similar, it's very pastel-y, but this is more like citrus. It's like peaches, limes, baby blues, and this is 198. So these are the three that I bought specifically for making the year of dishcloths. And as you can see from, that's how the pattern works up. Oh, this pink is so vibrant. I hope the camera's picking it up. So that was an incoming, a little incoming to myself that I forgot to share with you. But then what triggered me to get all focused on Daffodil, finishing her, is, where are you? I've just had you. So Jeanette shown something on her podcast, and it triggered me. Triggered is a word, because I have actually filmed this brand on several of my vlogs over the years, and I kind of convinced myself that I couldn't have any because they're not cheap. And then when Jeanette treated herself, I was like, you know what, if Jeanette can, then I can have one. Jeanette's made it okay. It's permission. Lawrence thinks I have lost the plot. He can get his head around me making Daffodil, but he can't get his head around me buying this. This is Dot. Dot is Daffodil's little sister. Dot has got a tail. This is from the brand Mailig, which is it Danish? I think it's definitely Scandinavian. It's a range of toys, and this is the smallest one, the sister mouse, and then the big sister mouse is roughly about that size. So actually, if you love the Mailig mice, there's all kinds of stuff. There's furniture. There's all kinds of things you can get. It's a bit spendy. They're not cheap. they're definitely investment pieces. But if you're crafty, fancy bit of sewing, you could actually buy this inexpensive pattern from Jane Magic Craft. And if you haven't got a printer, you know, you could shrink it, tell it the printer to print at like 80%, 50%, and then you would get different size patterns. Or you could go to your local print store or library, or if you know somebody who works in an office, photocopy it, shrink it down, expand it. You could easily make the full, like the sister, little sister, big sister, and mummy range. But as I said, the price size comparison. This is Maylig Little Sister mouse, and this is 6-inch Jane Magic Craft mouse pattern. Oh, I love her. The pattern's different. It's not exactly the same. The big sister mouse, her head is in, I've had a look, it's in 3 parts. You know, the arms are stitched on differently. So this is what you call in sewing bagged out. It's, you know, it's a different way, a different construction, but you know, I think the effect quite similar. What do you think? Oh, I'm so happy. So daffodil and Dot, welcome to the team, guys. They do get on. I think Dot irritates Daffodil in that little sister way, and Daffodil's a bit bossy. She's a little bit bossy. We've already seen that. You see what Lawrence thinks I've lost the plot. So that was an incoming. It was, I forgot to show you the yarns that I treated myself, and I gave myself permission to finally buy a Maylig mouse. Jeanette made me do it. So there you go. So I think that's everything. I don't know how long I've been waffling for. I don't think it's a particularly long podcast, but I thought, let me just come on and share with you where I'm up to with the Attic 24 crochet along, because it's not too late. If you want to actually join in real time, you can easily catch up. And maybe you're watching, this is Dawn of the Past, and you think, oh, I've never seen that pattern before. Like, some people might not be familiar with the Yuletide blanket because it was a few years ago. So let me know if you're joining in. I do know I'm a little bit behind on my YouTube viewing. I do know lovely Helen Ketteridge from Marty Makes Pod. She is doing the canal boat blanket, but as I'm filming this now, she's not yet shown her progress, but you can see. But I think her audience she's got a bigger audience, so I think the more we spread the word, the more worthwhile it is for these fantastic designers to keep producing these kind of things, free patterns for us. I mean, okay, this is a paid pattern. I had no issue with paying for it because it was very affordable, and you could make, you know, once you've got the pattern, you've got it. And I must say, the 6-inch mouse came with the dress pattern and a little vest and trousers if you want to make a boy mouse, if I'm allowed to say boys and girls, I don't know. Anyway, let's not go there. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I can maybe not leave it too long again. Let me know if you're happy, if you don't mind waiting a month. I just thought, let's keep it a little bit quicker. And I have been on my lunch break, but now I'm going to go back upstairs. I've got a meeting, and I'll get this edited this evening and uploaded, and then hopefully you've watched it kind of in real time. So tomorrow part 3 is coming out with the blanket. Let me know who else, if you sew, are you going to have a go, or are you going to invest? Let me know. Oh, it is so cute. Daffodil says bye. Dot says bye. Bye for now. See you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.